Welcome back, everyone. After that very short break, we have a game three here for you tonight, our 6 p.m. match. Once again, I'm Camcom, joined by Cursive on the desk here. We have Blonde Toads versus Dino Club. Blonde Toads taking blue side in our game three, 1-1. This will decide the series.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and ban away that Viego like we kind of predicted. Viego was such a problem in both games, really. So
Yeah.
I like that they are going to go ahead and take that away and that Karma and that Vayne. So we'll see what Blonde Toads wants to lock in here on that first pick. TK is up.
Yeah, both of the early games so far have gone to Blonde Toads in a very decisive manner. It was just in game one where there was that really big mid lane fight. Dino Club managed to take it and managed to take the game from there. So, really, banning that Viego, I think, is going to change how Blonde Toads plays drastically as we see that B1 Tom Kench locked in there.
Yo, Quest on this TK was just such a problem, right? Like he
Yeah.
was such a beast. Like he won the lane, he was making so many engages. So it's going to be really, really difficult to actually respond to this. Like I don't think you can actually take a mage anymore. Like you're going to have to take a fighter if we're going to assume that it's going to be TK mid. And I mean, the Lee Sin kind of struggled a little bit last game with that beefy front line that BT had.
Yeah, Lee Sin, you used to be able to pick him this early on because he was that flex potential between the mid lane, top lane, and jungle, but I don't think he has that level of flex anymore. I really do think he's just a jungler now. As
Mm.
we have a Jinx locked in to match Lee Sin, very similar to Vayne, but doesn't have as much tank shredding as she does as Blonde Toads. Amumu Aatrox, both A champs, both very strong topside members.
Yo, BT, like they are sticking to their game plan, right? Like get
Yeah.
it beefy, get engaged, get CC, and I like what they're doing already. Jinx, the problem with Jinx into like beefy lineups when you're playing super aggro is she needs items. She needs at least two, maybe even three crit items before she turns online. So as we're going into this, like there are a lot of bad matchups that can actually abuse Jinx in lane, but they're already starting to pinch that 80 carry pull as well. So we'll see what Nunu actually or New Now actually goes on to after all these bans.
Yeah, something that I am slightly concerned for Blonde Toads, though, is I hate to call it strong side jungle, but they have kind of been playing strong side jungle the past two games, and now throwing their jungler onto an Amumu, I don't think that's a champion that you can really rely on to 1v9. He is much more of a supportive carry tank, and one that usually supports AP champions. Tom Kitchen Aatrox, neither of them really AP, so could be hinting at that Annie bot lane again, or Ziggs, or another one of those popular AP champions for the bot lane.
Yo, I have seen Amumu support popping off in another league that I was in. So Amumu with those Q charges, right? With the it's basically you're flipping a coin. You're saying, "Hey, I missed that first time. Guess what? I'm throwing out again." And because 80 carries are so immobile, it's super easy for Amumu to just re-engage over and over every 5 seconds, right? So if they do flex Amumu down to the support role, I would be all for it. We're seeing this Quirky locked in as well. So this is actually going to be a lot of damage coming out from Dino. Like BT cannot play the same way as they did last game.
Yeah, this is not the comps that we have been seeing in the past two games. This actually has a lot of damage potential from Dino Club. And then you look at Blonde Toads, and they've locked in a Lucian Braum. That's a very
Mhm.
strong early game bot lane. The downside of that is past three items, Lucian, he's heavily outscaled by Jinx. You just have to shut her down early and try to extend that laning phase for as long as you can, and matched potentially by a Soraka. Hard counter into Braum if they do lock it in. Tark, not as hard, so hopefully they do lock in the Soraka. And Soraka Jinx is a very fun bot lane, I have to say.
Ooh, I kind of don't like this into a Braum lane. Like this is especially with Lucian as well. I don't like this at all. So basically, if Braum lands any Q at all, or just like goes on you or breathes at you, like it might as well be a hook support at this point, since you're picking an enchanter with a Jinx. And Lucian, with all those changes that he has, I'm gonna assume that Braum is gonna be playing like some sort of weird item, or maybe he's taking Fauna Life or something to try to get Lucian like some sort of buff, or maybe it's a move. Oh no, you can't do a Mumu support now because you got Brown. I mean, it's gonna be really weird because Lucian did get a lot of changes right with his passive. So I feel like bot is going to be a nice lane for them, but as for top, that's probably going to be a wash. And then when we're looking at the jungle side, like Amumu can struggle into Lee Sin as well. So I feel like BT didn't have as strong as a draft as they did last game.
Yeah, Blonde Toads, like you're saying, their top side, absolutely unkillable, and then you had Lil Nib on his Viego. Now he is off Viego. He is off the carry champion. He is on the support champions that he had the rest of his team on, and now it is going to be 100% reliant on Tunu. Now there is no insurance policy on the side of Blonde Toads. Now, if they do get ahead early, then they could absolutely have as dominant of a game as they had in game two. But game one memories come back. If they do get behind, it's going to be very rough for this team comp.
Exactly. And I mean, yeah, if this Lucian starts popping off, like it could be super good game for them, right? But at the same time, I feel like there is such a burden on BT to execute this, to get Lucian fed, to get him ahead, even Aatrox to some extent as well. And that's really tough into, well, I'm not going to say it's really tough in Orin. It can be tough depending on how he plays it. And on Dino Club, they're looking to scale. They got Quirky, they got Jinx, so they don't have a ton of damage early, but I feel like this is super weird because if BT can actually get Lucian ahead, right? Like they can just pop off, kill everybody because there's so much delayed power with that Jinx and Quirky. But on the same time, if they don't do that, then Dino Club just easily wins at what, 29? We'll call it 30 minutes, I guess.
Yeah, once the three items start hitting, really Quirky only needs two to start
Two,
popping off,
exactly.
but Jinx really does need that three item power spike, and then
Unless she goes
she's gonna be
lethality.
yeah, she's gonna be pretty huge once that three items it, and it's gonna be the complete opposite for Lucian, of course.
Mm,
So it's gonna come down to these early game team fights. Really, Blonde Toads needs to secure early game dragons. Any early game dragons that Dino Club gets makes their late game so much stronger and delays or de- takes away the timer that Blonde Toads has to find a lead in this early game. Because once it gets to the mid late game, Blonde Toads are going to be heavily outscaled.
exactly. Like they basically put themselves on a clock with just one carry threat. And I mean, I guess Aatrox can be one too, but when you got Quirky who can just Valk away or package in even, it could be really difficult for Aatrox to catch up to you. Even if he catches up to the Jinx, it's still not going to be able to catch up to that Quirky right there. So as we get into this draft, hopefully they have some really good communication on the side of Blonde Toads because I mean, if Lil Nib is able to make some creative pathing maybe on the bot side, it could be really interesting, like him and Quest playing around with these double engages. But yeah, so I, I'm still a little worried about just both sides. Like, there's so many questions, and I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out in this game three.
Yeah, game three. You had the correct prediction for game two. So I'm going to give you the first prediction for game three. Who do you think is taking the series here tonight, here,
Serious.
Cursive?
You know what? I'm gonna stick with the toes. I'm gonna
Okay.
double down, right? Like, and the main reason why it's not even because I like their comp really. It's because I see Soraka and I freaking hate Soraka. Like I hate Soraka almost as much as Yumi. So yeah, I'm gonna go all in on the toes.
All right. I have to go the other way. You gotta go Dyna Club. They're the returning, I believe, semi-finalist champions from last season. Not quite the finalists, but semi-finalists up there. And they have like the classic LS comp. There's so much
Hmm.
insurance in this bot lane. There's a lot of engage potential and early game up on the top side. I think it's a much more well-rounded composition. But we will be going to a short break, our last break here tonight before we go into our next series afterwards. But still, we have a game three on our hands. Very exciting tonight. We will be right back.
Why she says, why she shrouds her light or why she hides her glowing gaze when night turns crimson gold to gray. For silent falls the guilty sun, as day to dark does turn. One simple truth she dare not speak. Her light can only blind and burn.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 3 tonight. I'm Camcom, joined by Cursive for our final game of the night before your second series after this one. But in this first series of the night, Blonde Toads, Dino Club, 1-1. It is the series of the weekend, I think. Only Game 3, I think, right?
Exactly. And
All right.
I was just gonna say, like, looking at this, I wanted to see if MSI was actually gonna face check this Tribrush right here, but it's just another 5-point defense again.
It is okay, and I do want to point out Quest has elected to take the spell book on Tom Kench once again, but now Bluff has evolved. He's decided to take the same rune.
Level up, right? He was like big boy bluff. He's taking that mushroom, got the level up. He's growing big and strong. He's got that little unsealed spellbook tech. So yeah, they're definitely learning from each other in this matchup.
Yes, and of course, Dino Club has given us a very insightful dinosaur fact in all chat at the beginning of every game.
Every
The current
game.
current fact has been something about teeth, it looks like. Someone with very strong teeth. I can't read the name of the dinosaur, so it's a very long name.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't actually see it either. I was trying to scroll up. It's a Trundon, nicknamed Wounding Tooth, had leaf-shaped teeth and well known to be the smartest dinosaur. Awesome.
Yeah, that was funny. In game 2, their fact was whatever dinosaur they said was the least intelligent dinosaur. So they're going based on intelligent dinosaurs here, and they are some very intelligent dinosaurs. They were able to take game 1 from a comeback position. Game 2, unfortunately, not as strong for Dino Club, but game 3 here, Dupless has a lot of damage on the Quest early game.
Yo, I like this invade that Delightful just did right there. He went straight from red right down. He got spotted out on a ward, so that is going to signal vertical jungling if Lil Nip can actually make it over. Like, I would like to see him hurry up and get over and try to take away that blue, but I believe he's going for a... Okay, he is going to get it. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna be a little worried there if Lil Nib did go for a very early gank on the Amumu, because usually Amumu is one of those kind of power farmers to level 6. You do have a very large level 6 power spike on that champion. Meanwhile, the Delightful, he can really go for these invades very freely, signaling, like you're saying, that vertical jungling that we don't really get to see so often in the current meta. It also does mean, again, no early scuttle fights. I love early scuttle fights, if you couldn't tell, but there's unfortunately none in this series so far. Is Jupless could? Okay. He could have been caught out there, but not quite.
They're pinching in Lil Nip. He's actually in a lot of trouble. Look at this. They're all collapsing on him.
Yeah, he got the blue buff, but he did not get the gromp quite yet. The Delightful going to be using that blast cone, trying to get over the wall. Chad still level 2 on the Brum. He's going to be auto down. First blood fallen to Dupless, and now Little Nib going to be falling here as well. Double kill for the Corki, trying to make it a triple here, but Quest just about able to make it out with the last little bit of mana.
Yo, that is not what you want to see on the side of the Toads, right? Like, when you're already giving over 2 kills to the side of this hyper-scaling Quirky, that is so big. And unfortunately, Lil Nib pays for it with his life, right? He was trying to pick up that Grom, and MSI is actually taking a lot of damage, but he's trading back onto Boaf.
Yeah, this is not the tank v tank that we have seen in both of the games beforehand. They are actual bruisers now. They can actually do damage. And Chad, once again, playing the epic roaming style second jungler that he is known for from game 1, and Delightful doing just about the same to Little Nib here. But TP coming in from Quest behind the Delightful. They want to try and catch him out, but he's still Lee Sin. You're still level 4. It is still so hard to catch him out. It's a nice double knockup there from Quest, but unfortunately not enough follow-up. The Delightful going to be caught out there live now, picking himself up his first kill of the game. MSI wants to make himself on the board as well, but Bluff, Flash is coming out for both. MSI lives. Not quite though. Bluff solo killing the top laner.
Solo Bolo Boaf. Look at this guy. I said he was leveling up, and he really did. He gets that solo kill right there. He's going to push in this wave. MSI is going to have to burn TP, otherwise he would miss all that wave.
Yeah, he's gonna have to burn TP. He could have almost looked to make it in the end 1-for-1, but still, it is so hard to kill an Ornn. Even if he has no mana, he can still do a lot of damage through those auto attacks, and he did have that Thornmail pop or Bramble Vest in his inventory before that fight, so canceling out a lot of the early game healing that MSI otherwise definitely could have had or against him in that 1v1.
Yeah, and it looks like Delightful is going to get spotted out on this crab. And I love what we're seeing on the side of Delightful, on the side of these Dino troops. Basically, this is one of the knocks against Amumu, why he was always kind of out of favor, where, you pick this Lee Sin and you can just invade him all the time. And there's nothing he can do about it until he gets to level 6. And even then, you're still going to have more agency, more power. So I like what Delightful is doing to try to push that lead. And he's taken everything that he can to make sure that Little Nib is not a factor in this game.
Yeah, you don't want Mumu to be that powerful. Mumu is a little bit of a low econ champ. He still does kind of need some gold in his pocket and absolutely needs level 6 to be as useful as you pick Mumu to be, as he can't really low econ nearly as well as some other champions that can just, press hard like a Malphite or Misfortune. He does need a little bit more so that he does give that extra 8p damage to his team, which you do look at his team and you realize there's not really a whole lot of extra 8p he can hand around.
Yeah, exactly. And I like what we're seeing on the side of Rim and Coach Kirk. They're going through, they're pushing in this wave, and they're making sure to clear out the vision, set up vision so that Delightful can actually come over and pick up this Cloud Drake. I like it a lot, and this is just textbook how you play with the Prio.
Yeah, playing with the Prio through bot side, pull them up for that first Cloud Dragon in your pocket. Dino Club not having a single dragon in game 2 wants to make sure they get this first one in game 3 now. And again, like we were talking about at Champion Select, any early game dragons that they pick up here in this game 3 denies that timer that Blonde Toads have to try and find something in this early game, which they are going to be outscaled 100% by the time a soul hits, especially if they are put behind by these early dragons. As exhaust being popped there onto MSI Buff does so much damage on this one. I don't think MSI was expecting it, able to dodge out the call of the Forge God there, but his ult also about to run up. A Buff being taken down real low, forced to dash away, does not have that flash available, but lives on just 1 HP.
Just a bit short. And I also wanted to say, Lil Nib is having an awful time jungling right there. Like, everybody is just constantly invading him, taking it, contesting the red. They're setting up vision. They have the timers down. And now look at this. Now they're trying to take the blue as well. So this Amumu is having a really, really rough day. And I like what we're seeing. Uh-oh, look at Quest. Super high aggro, man.
He's got the Ghost, he's got the Chomp as well onto Dupla, spitting him out right underneath the tower. Little Nib wants to find it for himself, but Shutdown will be falling to Quest. Nice, trying to make a comeback there for Blonde Toads.
Yeah, and Delightful did end up completing that blue steal as well, and that was a really nice play by Quest to make that engage. And now they're trying to take away the Scuttle Crab as well, and maybe even pick up this Herald. Everybody is here.
Yeah, they have brought up all 4 members. They're also bringing up New now from the bot side as well. So all 5 members of Blonde Toads will be here for this first Baron. Not even a contest from Dino Club. They know, hey, we don't know where all Blonde Toads are. Maybe we should just give this first Rift Herald. What are they going to get? A few plates. There's no plates taken on the map by Blonde Toads so far. So I really don't think they can take a first dragon, a first tower just from 1 Herald, but could get a little bit extra gold in their pocket that they are down now.
Yeah, that was definitely something that they needed to kind of slow down the pressure that this squad was actually doing. Delightful was just causing so much problems. Dupla, same thing. So Lil Nib does actually pick up level 6. He actually picked up the Herald as well. Package is available for Dupla, so I don't know. Oh, okay, he's gonna use it.
Yeah, that was a very nice wave clear package, I think. I don't think Duplis was really playing for a 1v1 there, just wave clearing, trying to shove in, maybe looking for a dive potential, or just securing the blue buff for himself as well.
Exactly. Like Duplis is just saying, hey, I can push it out, I can roam, see what happens. Maybe, unfortunately, when we look at the bot side, it is pushed in, so you can't really roam up there. Top maybe could be a point. And I just love the vision control that they have set up. So even if Lil Nib does want to make his way to this bot side to try to help out Lucian, to try to get that snowball going, he's going to get spotted out.
Yeah, and like you're saying, excellent vision control from Dino Club really in all 3 games, even when they're behind. That's how you know that a team is so strong in vision is when they're behind, usually teams are either really good at vision from ahead or behind, and we've seen through all 3 games, Dino Club are really good at it in both circumstances. That's one of the secret ways that you can tell when a team is maybe a little bit better than they are just by score, but still very even in kills. One dragon up in favor of Dino Club. They are up a little bit of gold, just around 1,000. Not a whole lot for an
Oh,
early game, but in the mid game to late game, that 1,000 is going to mean a lot more.
exactly. And I really believe like when we're looking at this team, it's all gonna fall on Quest again. Like I feel like Quest is just such a huge part in this mid lane. Like it's kind of like a Doinby factor, right? Like it's one of those things like Doinby used to play like Malphite or Nautilus mid. Like you get Quest on this TK and his engages like this one is so good.
Yeah, unfortunately, he doesn't have that much mana. Dupless does
Wow.
have a blue buff, but still being forced to flash away. He spotted out the bot lane members of Blonde Toads roaming up. He doesn't want to be caught out in a 1v3 once again, especially doesn't want to give out another shutdown.
Yeah, look at Little Nib right here. He's actually, oh, they're collapsing.
Oh, okay. No ward hop available for the Delightful. Now Little Nib on the board with his first kill.
Yo, that was huge right there. Like that control ward got so much value right there. And look at this. They're actually trying to push this in so they can actually drop the hero. This would be huge for Lil Nib. Just to get some more gold in his pocket after he had fell behind early, after he's been getting invaded on.
Yeah, once again, excellent comeback tools coming out from Blonde Toads. Dupless almost being solo killed here in the mid lane. He is actually going to be solo killed in the mid lane. Quest now very strongly on the board. Boff finds himself in a 1v3.
Nice
Watches out the curse of the Sad Mummy with the help of the flash, and now could very definitely be dove by all 3 members, but all 3 of them not having their ultimates available.
Yeah, I like the proactivity that we're seeing. Like, Chad has been roaming every game, and look at this. They're still going to try to force this dive.
They're still going to try Boff. He is going to have his ult canceled out by the shield. Nice play there from Chad. Not going to have any ultimates available, but nice TP coming in here from Dupless. They know he is pretty big on this Corki, and they're not even going to try to continue a dive. Just walk it out. Just TP going to fall as well. New now forced to flash away. The Delightful wants to find something here on the bot side. Quest, he is forced to run away, kicked underneath his tower. Now both TPs coming in from the top side members. We're going to make it a 5v5 in the bot lane. We want to find the shutdown. We find the shutdown onto Rim now. Gonna find himself a first kill of the game on the board for the Jinx.
Yeah, that's actually huge for this Jinx, and they're trying to take down this first turret gold as well. They're rotating up, trying to take as much as they can, actually. Get in this Drake. They're going to just say, hey, you know what? If we breathe on this bot side tower, we're going to be able to get it. Let's just go ahead, take the drag, reset back by. Shield Bow is picked up by this Quirky as well. So this is actually looking really, really good for the Dino squad, right? Like, they're popping off. They got a lot of gold onto that Quirky and the Jinx. So when you're talking about hyperscalers, right, like the Lucian isn't necessarily popping off the way I thought that he was going to have to. So this Jinx is actually pretty strong. So if they want to force some more fights around her, I would be completely okay with that. Just to get Jinx a little bit more ahead.
Yeah, both AD carries are going to hit that first item power spike here very shortly. I think they are just about even in gold, as once again we have another 1v1 coming out here in the mid lane. Dupless being taken down real low. He does have that shield bow popped very early, does not have flash, does not have W available. It is not gonna matter. Quest picks up yet another solo kill in the mid lane.
Yo, he needs to name change to doing B or doing C or something. Like, this dude is such a beast on these tanks, and he's just finding these leads, constantly putting out pressure on this map. And Rim rotated up to the top side. Uh-oh, Rim's in trouble.
Oh, Rim, I think he is going to be okay. You do have Coach Kirk just sitting in the backside. He's able to just permanently heal anyone he wants. He is going to have that mythic completed here in a few minutes as well. Slightly after Rim, unfortunately. Give supports more gold, Riot, please. We want more gold.
Yo, they are definitely going to dive this. Look at Quest. He's actually waiting for this wave to push in. They're going to go for this dive.
Yeah, Coach Kirk, unfortunately, is still level 7 on that Soraka, level 8 on Rim as well, so not nearly as far ahead as some of these solo laners sitting very strongly at level 10, but Coach Kirk could be walking straight into a 1v4 if he continued down the river.
Yeah, it looks like this is all started out over the Scuttle Crab right here, and there's trading on the top side, trading on the bot side as well. Like New now, like he's trying to preserve this little tower on the bot side. And look at this MSI.
Package going in onto MSI, but there's just not enough damage. Rocket gonna miss. MSI just walking in out, using his ultimate, and that was a lot of big cooldowns burnt there by Dino Club and not able to find anything. Now Little Nib wants to turn it back around. Chad on the bot side, huge.
Ooh.
Little Nib, no more movement available, but Duplet still able to pick up a kill onto MSI, and now trying to turn it back onto Chad, left all alone with the Braum. Quest trying to help him out with the Tom Kench, but there's just no damage available. It's a Tom Kench and a Braum. How are you going to kill these three members?
Oh, they got
Duplet
him.
and Delightful, though, might have just walked the wrong way. Little Nib walking in the very long way as well. Now Rim finds himself in a 1v2, but Quest tries to solo down the Delightful. Duplet does a lot of damage with these ops. Immortal Shield, but will be popped. Duplet finally picked up that kill back onto Quest. Payback for laning face being so painful, but Little Nib still doing so much damage. Ultimate coming from downtown. Guaf finally thrives back in the fight with the help of the TP, and it looks like Dino Club are able to secure the tower at the end of it.
Yo, all hell is breaking loose on the top side. Party up here, everybody invited. Nuna didn't get that invite, unfortunately. I know how that feels, buddy. Sorry. But yeah, everybody else though is super involved in these fights, and Rim Almighty is absolutely taking over. He's picking up these leads, right? And that was just such a crazy exchange how that all happened. They are going to go ahead and pick up that tier 1. They're setting up for the Baron is not up yet. I thought that they might try to take this Herald since it looks like everybody was there. It looks like they're just going to say, no, just back, play it safe, buy, reset, and then we'll try to contest it as we come back to lane.
Yeah, the Herald, like you're saying, still up on the table. Dragon number 3 for Dino Club up in 1 minute and 15 seconds. If they do decide to take it, very much ahead for Dupless and Bluff. Now they need to start converting that lead onto Rim. Now has 1.5 items on the Jinx, just another 1.5 to go before he's going to be as huge as Dupless is. But again, Dupless almost hitting that level 2, or not level 2, item 2 power spike as well. So he's almost at his max, so again, need to transition that onto either Broth or Rim, and they're doing that very well so far.
Absolutely. And I just want to say, like, I would absolutely 100% be okay. Ooh.
Okay. It's okay.
With Rim actually going into a LDR right here, just to make sure that you're able to slice through everybody else. Because when you look at this, and that is going to be that Rift Herald started up right here by the Toads and Claps. Okay, they are going to get it. But if you go for LDR right here, I'm 100% okay with that on Rim Almighty.
Yeah, I think you actually need to go LDR on Rim. I don't think you can buy it as a second item. I think it does need to be that third item, and hopefully Rim does get to the point of needing it, as Rift Herald will be dropped here mid lane, looking to find an engage onto the Delightful, but it is a very nice ward hop now. Just Rift Herald needs to make the charge. Shelly going to find a potential engage underneath this tower here for Blonde Toads.
Yeah, it's a bloodbath, and they're looking for more. Look at this. Rim is bloodthirsty. They're going to chase this down.
Yeah, they're continuing to chase it. Scuttle, man, poor Scuttle. You don't need 5 members to kill a Scuttle, man. He just wants to live a little longer. As Blonde Toads now in position to try and take their first dragon of the game, denying Soul Point for Dino Club would be their first Mountain Dragon of the game. Dupless does not have that package available for this fight, but all 5 members are so close together. Rim Almighty picking up the first kill of the game. Sirocco absolutely huge in keeping all members alive, but the Delightful is taken so low, but still Blonde Toads all grouped up, not allowed to move whatsoever. Triple kill coming out for the Delightful, and Soul Point taken for Dino Club.
Oh boy, okay, Dino Clubs, the Dinos are actually kind of smurfing at this point. It looked like MSI was trying to make a run right there. He was doing so much healing with that Gore Drinker, but unfortunately, too little, too late, too much power on the side of this Dino Club. They're going to go ahead, get that Soul Point going, and they're trying to push down as much as they can off the back of that win.
Yeah, you get the dragon, you get a bunch of kills into Rim and Dupless's pockets. Again, triple kill into the Delightful. You get a tower and a half mid lane, and that was on the back of a losing fight mid lane as well. So that was about the worst case scenario that they could have found themselves in, but Dupless finds himself a solo kill here in the mid lane, but gonna go down, giving a 350 shutdown to live now.
Yeah, and Quest actually what? He TP'd in and then MSI had TP'd in as well. So I thought maybe there was going to be some sort of collapse, some sort of pincer play. They all backed away though, and it was already too little, too late for Dupless. He's going to go down. Braum's going to go ahead and finish that locket, and Ornn is going to finish a Thornmail as well. So yeah, this was so the basis behind LDR. So people don't know this, but the closer you get to level 14, the more valuable LDR becomes, right? So I'm a theory crafter, just so you guys know. I've ran a lot of numbers on this. So if you start LDR at level 12 with that last Whisperer item, you actually get so much gold value out of it. And since Rim was already kind of close to that already, he's going to finish the Zeal, but which is, it's fine. Like, that's kind of a standard thing. But the closer you get to level 12, 13, 14, the more value you get out of LDR. So when you're looking at second item, if ever you're wondering, oh my God, I don't know if I should go to LDR or not, even if they're tanky, like, are they level 14? Are they close to level 14? If so, you have more than enough justification to actually go LDR second.
Yeah, with the, I would say, pretty big buffs to it when they did the full item rework, I think it's still very underrated for how strong of an item is. Yes, it is supposed to be that third item power spike item, but still, like you're saying, a second item is very strong for LDR because you'll have that bonus damage for the second everyone starts hitting the level 14, the extra bonus damage that you are able to pick up off of it. As now it is a little bit of a standstill here. 3 minutes on Mountain Soul for the side of Dana Club, assuming that they will take it for themselves on spawn, which is pretty much an easy assumption to make. Baron is on the map if they want to try and find it, but most likely want to try and look for a team fight around the mid lane here, looking for an engage onto Chad, walking so far and not finding anything for himself. Rim picking up the first kill of the team fight, kicking in MSI into the rest of the team. So much healing. Where did the healing come from? He's flashed away. Delightful going in all on his own, gonna go golden for just a little bit longer. Little Lib flashing away, double kill coming out for Dupless. They're looking to end game 3 here just off of one push.
Yo, that was actually crazy. Chad just walked up. He was like, "Hi guys, how are you?" He just wanted to say hello. And look at this, still fighting.
Oh my gosh, Dupless, he got the 2 item power spike. He's 2.5 items now on Corki, and Rim just allowed to completely free auto these objectives. No more inhibitor for you. They could really look to end game 3 right here.
Yo, if they push this down to 21, not even a Baron, that'd actually be so crazy.
Oh my gosh, these towers there, they're just not allowed to live. TP coming in from Guav as well. They know that they can end, and they are playing like it.
They're playing for the end. That's actually crazy. They are pushing this tower down. They already took one, and now they're actually getting re-engaged on.
Finds the engage with his ultimate. Rim gonna be taken down first, shut down. Going over to New now. They might have looked for the end just a little bit early, but still you have Guav 1v3ing for so long, so tanky, almost able to find the kill onto Chad, but unfortunately not quite. Another shutdown falling to New now has 550 gold just from shutdowns right there.
Yo, pings are going down on this Baron. They want this. Blonde Toads are saying, yo, let's take this Baron right here. They are going to try to force this 50-50 right here.
Yep, 50-50 on the Baron. The Delightful is alive, but so is Little Nib, of course. Does not matter on their levels. It is always a 900 smite nowadays, no matter what it is. 5,000 HP on Baron. Taken down. The Delightful wants to play for still 2,000, 1,000. He has to go in right now. Not going to find it. Rim shoots in the ult. Unfortunately, just a second too late. Baron picked up by Blonde Toads.
Yo, that was actually so sneaky. Nice job. I mean, I thought it was a 50-50. They didn't have vision of it, though. So, yeah, it wasn't even. It was just a nice, sneaky, opportunistic play. And they needed to actually make sure that they're able to save this game. Because when you look at that that Nexus Tower, right? I mean, it's so low. It's going to respawn a little bit, but not that much, right? And this Drake is actually coming up. Oh, my goodness.
Dupless 3 items on this Corki. He has the package available, and he's going to have to be forced to use it to run away. Not the use that you want when you have the Mountain Soul standing right there. Little Lib does not have that flash available, excuse me, so he's not going to be able to steal as easily. He has to land a Q onto someone. They have to find a 5v5. Blonde Toads does have that Baron advantage, but they have to go in right now. 4,000 HP on the Mountain Soul. This could be game winning for Dino Club if they win the team fight, if they are able to secure the dragon again. Still 4,000. They are holding it out safely, but they are running out of time. There there are super minions crashing onto your Nexus tower. You see Quest forced to recall. He still does have the teleport available. If there is an engage, 2,000 HP remaining on the Baron. Ornn out comes out. It's going to be canceled away by the shield, but red team able to secure the Mountain Soul for themselves. Jinxel doing so much damage. Bluff flashes in for the kill. Delightful going in as well. MSI soloing him down. So much HP. Quest TP's in right after the dragon. Very unfortunately, he will have to try and run away. New now gonna be taken down. Bluff able to find that kill, and it looks like Dino Club very decisively trying to end game 3 right here.
Yo, I just gotta say, Delightful played that so well. He actually kicked Amumu out and then just Sonic Wave back into the Drake to actually take it. It was such a huge play, and they played that so well. Great job.
Yeah, excellently played there by Dino Club. Every ultimate used in absolute perfection. That's once again Little Nib. He engages onto the backline, and you can see there is just far too much CC, far too much damage coming out from Dupless and Rim now, sitting 3 and 2 items respectively. Dino Club, last objective remaining on the map is that Nexus, but first you gotta pad out the stats.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they did so well right here. Great job. And they're padding the stats, trying to just make sure that they say, yo, we win.
There's a next. Come on. It's okay. There you go. All right, Dino Club taking the series by storm. 1 game 1, lost game 2, just for the little extra practice. Taking the series 2-1 against Blonde Toads.
Great job. GGWP. What a great series in this game 3. And hats off to both teams. I had a lot of fun watching this. And a great job casting, by the way, Cam.
Yeah, great job casting for you too, Cursive. What an exciting series. It wasn't just game 2 end. Oh no, it had to go to game 3. And game 3, boy, how back and forth it was. It's very similar to game 1, and then it's just all of a sudden the entire game blows up. But very well played to both teams, taking it to a game 3. Now, we are not the last game of the night. This is the last game of this series, but at 9 p.m. EST in just over 20 minutes here, you will have another game here casted by some other fantastic casters. But that will be the end of it for us tonight here. Camcom and Cursive will be signing out. Thank you for watching this fantastic best of 3. Again, Dino Club taking it 2-1 over Blonde Toads.